All right. Good morning. Good morning. Make sure everything's good before talking to you guys this morning. Hello. Happy Tuesday. Make sure it is live and streaming and you guys can hear me. Constantly changing my microphone. So it is constantly changing my microphone. Okay. So good. All right. Yeah, pure evil lurking among us right underneath your nose, and you probably don't even know it. I want to I'm not going to go for a long time this morning. I'm honestly I'm a little irritated. I'm a lot irritated actually because this is just I mean, it almost brings me to tears. It's like it's terrible. I'll just say that. Um, you guys have heard me talking about sex trafficking probably for the last 6 months to a year, and I think people are aware of it and probably know that it's happening. I don't think they realize the extent that it's happening, uh, where it's happening. Like honestly, I was totally shocked to find out. Like I live in this cool outdoor town that people flock to enjoy the outdoors, skiing, hiking, river rafting, all the goodies of the outdoors. And it's this cool, hip, fun town, but there's little girls and boys being trafficked right here in my town. In fact, there's been instances of um, that happening at my kid's high school, which was totally shocking to me because we live in a nice side of town and it's a higher I don't know just a higher I don't even know how to put it, a higher net worth part of town, whatever. And that teenage kids at that high school have been trafficked. So I sat down last week. Actually, it was about a week and a half ago. About a week and a half ago, I sat down with a woman who is with the Guardian Group, the organization that I have talked to you guys about. This is the first time I've sat down with them and done a lengthy interview. So I went over to their offices. I'll put it in the chat. Maybe somebody else can do it as well because I'm a little blind at the moment. I took my glasses off, but I would really encourage you guys to look at the newest post that I just released. Let me just put it in here real quick. It's toddfalcone.com/episode 306 is the episode. Maybe somebody else can put that in there so we get these get the word spread. Okay. So I'm going to tell you a little story and then like how I found out about this, and why I decided to like join in the fight because it's terrible. You got dudes that are, and here's the other thing, like the primary, John, if you will, I guess that's one term that's used. The primary John is a 6-figure dude. Okay. That means the guy's, he's not making $35,000 a year working at Walmart. He's making 100, 200,000 plus a year and hiring 6-year-old, 8-year-old, 10, 12, 14-year-old kids for sex. And that's like the most regular buyer of sex. And these are kids that are being trafficked. And by the way, it's like, okay, first of all, I'm not going to get political, but this was happening long before the border was wide open. Okay. Long before the border was wide open, this stuff has been happening. And so I decided to go and sit down. I went to their offices, sat down with Shannon, interviewed her. I think you guys should watch the interview, man. Just asking her about, who the Guardian Group is, what they're all about, how they started, and Jeff and Shannon are just like really, I mean, like they're just amazing people. Like for them to totally dedicate their lives to eradicating sex trafficking, which it's a big job to eradicate sex trafficking, because it's like these dudes that were out, like, and I say dudes because it's mostly dudes, but there are women in the trafficking business, women that are, there are women traffickers. Most of the time, what that is actually, it's a girl that was raised in, basically started being trafficked at age 10, 12, 14, and then, and I can't remember the term that they use for her, but that's like one of the girls that helps to go gather other little girls. It's more girls than it is boys, but boys get trafficked as well. And it's just terrible, man. I mean, I got like 2 kids. Like if you have kids, or if you want to have kids, or even if you don't have kids, like everybody's got to have a heart for children. And for them to be raped like 5, 10 times a day is insanity to me. And it just makes it's like, I know I'm pretty, like, I feel ill this morning because we released this episode, and it just makes me freaking sick. It just makes me absolutely sick to, like, like, I love my boys, like, like to no end. And to have some child that gets taken away and sold for sex is like, it's just terrible, man. And there's something you can do about it. You can get in this fight, whether you want to, and in the newest episode that we just released this morning with me talking to Shannon, we get into, how you can get in the fight. I mean, I would love it if you would spread this post around, like, make it widely known. Like, this is a totally different post for me. Like the blog post where I've got this interview. I mean, you guys, like 99.9% of the posts that I do, like when I'm putting out a blog post, is network marketing training. There's no network marketing training. There's no discussion of network marketing in this post. This is just me taking a stance and like getting the word out, and hoping that you guys will help me get the word out and get this video seen. These guys focus exclusively on the US. It happens in every town, big, small. And I think a lot of people, especially, like, honestly, like when Carla and I sat down with Jeff first time, and he's like, yeah, we've got we've got a handful of girls over in a safe house over here. And I was just like, in Bend? He's like, yeah, yeah, in Bend, right here, like literally like less than a half a mile from where we're sitting having coffee right now. And it just made me absolutely, like, I was like shocked. Like, I think some people go into like denial, it's like, no, or they don't want to see it. I mean, I don't want to see it. Or they don't want to realize that it's true. But like, this stuff is real, man. I mean, there's evil, nasty human beings that pay these traffickers to have sex with young kids. Imagine 8, 6, 10, 12, 14. And you know what's crazy is, like, and I hope like law enforcement, like, it's interesting. You got somebody who, started getting trafficked at the age of like 12. And that's the life that they've learned to know. They're damaged, abused, scared. They don't want to be selling their bodies for sex. And they're forced into it. They were coerced into it. And then by the time many of them turn 18, they still don't know any better. They're still scared. Yeah, they're of legal consenting age to have sex at that point, but they're not consenting. They're still scared to death. They're traffickers. Like, got them so afraid that they're gonna kill them, kill their parents, kill their friends. Like the threats and coercion that take place it's crazy. And then what's insane is a lot of times, like, especially if somebody's 18, you guys have seen this in the movies, like some street girl, some, they call them prostitutes, whatever, prostitutes, hookers, they get arrested, and it's like, at that point, they don't even know any better. Like, they're so deeply ingrained into this lifestyle that they didn't volunteer for. And then they're getting arrested for prostitution. And what's crazy, they get arrested and then they get out, but the trafficker just, they're pimp. And it's not like they're looking for a pimp. They're not looking for, this is all forced coercion, intimidation. And it's sickening, man. Like I'm not going to, I could sit here and share like stories with you, but it would disgust you. It would probably make you sick to your stomach. It would definitely make you angry. There's 2 stories right now that are in my mind that I kind of want to share with you, but you're like, it'll blow your freaking mind. You'll be like, there's no way. There's no way. There's no way that guy did that to that little girl. And yeah, he did. And so please go take the time, get your spouse, share it with your team, help me spread the awareness, and just go watch that post. It's toddfalcone.com/episode 306. It's a sit-down conversation with myself and Shannon, who's one of the folks over at the Guardian Group, and just hear our conversation and help me join the fight. Like, you can get in this fight. You can get in a little bit. You can get in a lot of it. There's a couple different ways to help. If you, one of the best, and I'm not going to go through the whole, like, you need to listen to the interview. In fact, I'll just stop there because I'm kind of about to lose it, honestly. So, yeah, toddfalcone.com/episode 306. You can go watch that. I know it's live. And, if there's any post that I do, like, that needs to be shared, this one needs to be shared. And people need to be aware of it and need to, like, be out of denial. And I think, like, as a parent, and I love my children. We're both, like, I'm 18 and 20 now, but, like, when you see, like, little boys and little girls and how innocent they are, and to have that innocence robbed from them, and for them to be forced into this awful, terrible, evil crime. And it is the single fastest growing criminal organization in the world. There's nothing that's faster growing, which is crazy. It's like, and the fact that there's a demand for it, that someone would actually, and it's like, I mean, here's the thing. So I first was talking with the founder. He was sharing with me, like, you think, it's like, what is the profile of John? What's the profile of a John? Is it like some punk ass tattooed looking? I'm not talking about the pimp. I'm talking about the guy that's hiring. Is it a blue collar worker driving a Chevy truck that makes minimum wage? No, it's the local physician in town that is 57 years of age, that it's the pediatrician, as an example. And you've had dinner with them. You've had them over at your house for dinner. Your children have gone to see them as, as their doctor. I'm not saying it's your pediatrician, but like I can tell you right now that there's an example of something that was shared with me where like it was a local doctor that was busted. So these guys, their objective is to save these kids, get them out of the trafficking because they're not volunteering for it, arrest the traffickers, and put them behind bars where they deserve to be. I'm sure they deserve other things, but I'm not going to say any of that. I have thoughts. But they definitely deserve to be locked up for what they do. So please, please, please go watch that episode. It's a sit-down conversation. It's me and Shannon sitting side by side in the offices over at the Guardian Group. And leave a comment, man. And share the post. Please share the post. I'm gonna ask you, like, I don't even remember the last time I said, hey, share my network marketing training post. I leave that up to you. If you feel like sharing it, fine, share it. But this one needs to be shared. So anyhow, I got to go run around the block or something because this is not a fun subject to talk about. So, okay, ToddFalcone.com/episode 306. Okay. Let's help end this crap. I mean, you can't just sitting on the sidelines and knowing that it's happening. Like my job here is to help you know that it's happening and make it become real to you because it's happening. And you can live in a town of 500 people. It's happening in your town. You live in a big town. It's happening all over in the town. And it is ugly. And I'm not going to tell, not going to tell you how ugly it is because first of all, it's going to start making me cry, and then it's going to piss me off, and it's going to freak you out. So just go watch the interview with me and Shannon. Okay? All right, I'm out.